It's pizza time.
I want pizza.
I do too. What's going on, guys? I'm Lucky, and welcome back to another video. I'm joined by the lovely Kate Bishop herself today. We're going to be giving you our spoiler review of the first 2 episodes of Marvel Studios' Hawkeye, exclusively on Disney+. Spoiler filled, so if you have not seen these episodes, make sure you go watch them, save this video, come back and hear our spoiler talk. But spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Cam, what do you think of the episodes overall? And then we'll get into episode 1 and 2.
I thought it was really, really, really good. I think it's safe to say I have a bit of a bias. If you know me at all, if you follow me on any social media, I have a very big Haley Steinfeld, Kate Bishop bias.
Yeah.
But I do think regardless of that, it was still very, very good.
Fair enough. I already have my non-spoiler thoughts in a video, so make sure to check that out. It'll be linked up above. I was also a fan of the episodes, but getting into that first episode, and then we'll go into the second one. The first episode opens out of the gate, and it cements itself as like an MCU project as we get to see the Battle of New York from Kate's perspective, and we see that she lives in this nice house. It kind of gets destroyed.
She lives in a penthouse.
Hawkeye saves the day, and she kind of becomes a Hawkeye stan.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool to see like that fight from a different point of view.
Her one flaw, Hawkeye. She's a Hawkeye stan.
What this show does is it takes a character in Kate Bishop who's 22 years old and makes her so relatable and easy to connect with for people our age who, again, 21-year-olds, we're both about to be 22. And she's just one of the most relatable MCU leads. I'm excited to see her journey moving forward because Clint is much older and he's more of on like the retiree side, if you will.
He's like kind of cynical.
So he doesn't really have that much time to shine. I like what they do with Clint, though, about showing him how he's still damaged, especially when it comes to the Nat mentions.
He's broken.
Yeah, like I liked what they did with Rogers the Musical and showing him like kind of having PTSD when it shows Nat. We get introduced to Kate's mother, who I think she's an alright character. I'm not crazy about her.
So her mom's name is Eleanor. I think that there's something more to Eleanor than what we see right now. Something fishy about the fact that she was talking to Armand III. She doesn't look stupid. You know what I mean? I just don't think that she would be marrying someone like Jack on purpose. I think she's doing it to gain like trust or to gain access to something. She also owns a security company, so like there's no way that she doesn't know. I think she knows more than she's letting on.
Fair enough, because again, she is with a very shady dude in Jack, who's going to be Kate's new stepdad, and I don't like this guy at all. He's very shady. We see throughout the episode participating in a black market auction for really shady stuff, including Ronan's sword as well as the Ronan cosplay. So there's a lot of shady stuff going on there.
Costume.
We get to see our boy Lucky, me. I make a cameo in this episode. Goated MCU animal, and then it ends with some action. You know, we get to see Kate going undercover. She's quick on her feet. So the first episode, again, it ends with a little bit of a situational action scene. As Kate's undercover, she's trying to explore more about Jack and Armand and see more about who this stepdad figure is. A truck bursts through the wall. Everything goes crazy. The Ronin sword's up for grabs. Jack pockets it, and then the Ronin costume is just sitting there. So what does Kate do? She puts it on. This sparks a whole debacle as we see the news is being watched by Hawkeye, and it's like, Ronan's back from retirement. Ronan's back. Who's Ronan? Who's the man in the hood? And Clint's obviously like, well, that was me. I don't know who the hell that is. So he goes and does some investigating. But before this, we get to see Kate kick some ass. I was really a fan of that. She does a little Nat move when she has that one dude with her in between her legs.
One thing I really like about Kate is that she's trained in like so many things. Yeah. So her fighting pattern is really cool. It's more than just arrows.
And then the episode ends with Kate getting cornered and fighting more tracksuits.
Armand dies.
Armand does die.
Armand III.
Armand III, the older fella, does die. I forgot about that. By a blade, you can tell it's most likely Jack that could be messing with us. Jack could be using the Ronin sword, or it could be her mom. That's kind of a prediction I have. It could be her mom. The episode comes to a wrap when she is fighting the tracksuits, and then she's kind of outnumbered. Our boy, Clint.
Your boy.
Clint comes in to save the day, and he kind of takes her to the side.
You're Hawkeye.
You're Hawkeye, the line from the trailer, the money line, and then he says, who the hell are you guys? And then it actually cuts to Thor.
Who the hell are you guys?
That's the end. It plays It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. First episode, really solid installment. Real quick before we move on to episode 2, where would you put it of the premieres episodes? Like, how would you rank it?
I am going to say best.
Best?
Yeah.
Good, I will too. I think it's the best just because I like Kate so much. Moving on to episode 2, though. This one is continuing right where we left off, which is what a lot of these Marvel shows failed to do.
Makes me so happy.
Right where we left off. This is literally going to be an actual movie. We get to see the apartment. It burns. The shot that we saw a billion times in the trailers of Clint catching a Molotov cocktail and throwing it back is in this episode. The track shoots track Kate to her apartment, and we get a pretty cool little action scene, I'd say. I like the banter back and forth. She's like, do you want to sign my bow?
She's like, I have so many questions. First and foremost, can you sign this? The most relatable moment for me personally is when Hawkeye's like, how old are you, 18? And she's like, I'm 22. I feel that on so many levels.
And then they escape the fire, of course, but
They leave the suit behind.
And who gets it? None other than a firefighter scoops it up, but he's not just any firefighter. He's a New York City LARPer. Live action role player, a
Yeah.
cosplayer essentially. But a little bit more committed, I would say.
A lot more committed, I would say.
And so most of this episode, we follow Clint tracking the suit down. He has to get into some LARPing. I thought this was really comical. It lended itself to some nice little moments. I like the slow motion where it looks like he's literally in Braveheart just taking dudes out. Kate, for the majority of this episode, is talking to her mother, trying to do some investigating with Bishop Security, and we get a lot more of the development of this Jack character.
I definitely think Jack is sus. I don't know what he's in cahoots with, though. Maybe he's just weird.
In fact, their whole conversation leads into like this weird like competition between Jack and Kate where they're trying to like one up each other in a way, but Jack is trying to play it off like he's the cool dude when in reality he's not.
It's because Kate can tell he's lying about something.
Yeah, they're fencing. He's probably a way more experienced fencer than he put on, but he was really lying, you know?
That whole scene with them fencing shows us that he's really experienced with swords. And butterscotch.
Which is hinting at the fact that he might have been there when Armand III died, because we see Kate say something about butterscotch. So that is a massive little foreshadowing hint right there.
Like Alfred Hitchcock said, you don't show a butterscotch in your first act and not show it in your third act.
Accurate. So at the end of this episode, Clint kind of volunteers himself to be caught by the tracksuits.
He says a little nat move,
a
little
move,
catch and release,
which I thought was a nice callback again. I love how they are acknowledging that he was friends, damn near family with Natasha Romanoff, so he's not just going to move on from that real quick. So he gets caught, and then Kate comes in through the roof and falls down. And it's really funny, you mentioned it when we were watching, how he just looks up the whole time.
Yeah, she falls, he looks up, and then she breaks through, and he just keeps looking up the whole time, and he's like...
So she comes in, then they're both captured, and they want to talk to the boss, so we cut to a shot of someone in a red room with their hand on a speaker. It pans up, and it is none other than Echo. That is the big reveal of this episode in the cliffhanger, setting her up as almost the big bad of the show moving forward, a character that we don't know much about except for the fact that she is in fact deaf, and she could have some role to do with the mob, the tracksuit, so we'll see what plays in there.
Apparently a lot of people thought that it was going to be Yelena.
Really?
A lot of people. Like,
I didn't.
People that I watched it with when I was in New York. And then people, like, my friends were like, we thought it was going to be Yelena. It's because the tracksuits are Russian, and they say she wants him alive.
Yeah, I just don't see Elena heading an organization like that, you know? I'm glad we got these two episodes together because I feel like it was a solid introduction to the show. Moving forward, I feel like it can kick it into the next gear. We know the characters enough. We know what's at stake here. We'll reveal more about the villains of the show. It's just got the holiday charm to it. It feels classic MCU. I'm a big fan of it. I just ate it up every second of it. I've seen both the episodes twice now, and I'll probably watch them again before the new episode 3. But I mean, I can't complain. Big fan of the show.
I'm happy it's finally here. I've been obsessed with Kate for the greater half of a year.
Yeah.
She's finally here, and I love her, and it's her show.
I enjoyed it a lot. Cam enjoyed it a lot. We're going to be covering this show through the rest of the season, so stay tuned for our Hawkeye episode 3 watch party and spoiler review of that episode, which will come out next week. Make sure to hit the like button, comment your thoughts, spoiler-filled, in the comments down below. Follow Cam on all our social medias. Those are linked down below. Enjoy Hawkeye for the rest of the holiday season, and until next time, see you guys later.
That looked like a bark for real. When you play that back,